Thank you for being here this evening. We celebrate airline pilots who've demonstrated the very highest standards of excellence. We pay tribute to ALPA pilots who embody courage and perseverance. Their resilience and determination in the face of challenge have truly changed our union and our industry. As we celebrate the 2022 honorees, I'd also like to acknowledge ALPA's more than 75,000 pilots who fly for 43 airlines in Canada and the United States. Who would have thought we would get past 75,000 pilots? That's kick-ass. I didn't ask for applause, but we represent more pilots than we ever have in our history, and how cool is that? Every day, on every passenger and every all-cargo flight, ALPA pilots deliver on our union's commitment to ensuring that North America remains the gold standard of aviation safety and security. This evening we'll recognize 2 flight crews with ALPA Superior Airmanship Awards for safely overcoming unexpected challenges. They set an example for pilots around the world and uphold our union's tradition of service to others and an unwavering dedication to excellence. We'll also honor 4 recipients with ALPA's 2022 annual awards in recognition for their outstanding work and contributions as pilots and leaders for our union. Now we'll begin with the 2022 ALPA Superior Airmanship Awards presentation. Our 2 crews being honored tonight overcame major challenges, led by example and exemplified determination and courage. I'd like to present our first of our ALPA Superior Airmanship Awards. Keith Costo, Delta MEC Treasurer, please join me on stage to assist with this presentation. There he is, over there. Good looking as always. Spectacular. Captain Stuart Smith and Captain Ian Augustine are recipients of the 2022 ALPA Superior Airmanship Award. I'll ask Captain Costo to recount the details of this event.
Thank you, Jason, but I think we already saw the video, so I'm good. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Look at you.
Yeah, let's go.
Spectacular.
Anyway, good evening. Yeah. I have the distinct privilege to present the 2022 Airline Pilots Association Superior Airmanship Award. This year's recipients are Delta Captain Stuart Smith and back then First Officer Ian Augustine is now a captain. In recognition of their quick thinking and professionalism in handling a bird strike event while operating Delta Airlines Flight 2295. On the evening of November 19th, 2022, Captain Smith and First Officer Augustine were en route from Atlanta Hartsfield International to Epley Field in Omaha, Nebraska. First Officer Augustine was at the controls during the nighttime descent, and while he had just begun to decelerate the aircraft and passing through 13,000 feet, there was suddenly a loud explosion. The cockpit door blew open, the crew experienced a rapid decompression, and there was damage to the aircraft. The crew quickly assessed the situation, declared an emergency, and landed safely. Once on the ground, a maintenance inspection was conducted, and it revealed that the aircraft had sustained multiple bird strikes near and around the cockpit, many of which had penetrated the aircraft skin. I commend Captain Smith and First Officer Augustine for their superior airmanship and the professionalism they demonstrated during this event. Through extreme noise, a wide array of distractions, and communication challenges, they executed textbook threat and error management to ensure the security of all those on board. I am honored to accept the Superior Airmanship Award on their behalf.
There you go. We'll get both of them. Let me see what I got to say here. Got them? We'll go for a picture in a minute. It is my great honor to recognize Delta Airlines Flight 2295 Captain Stuart Smith and now Captain Ian Augustine with the 2022 ALPA Superior Airmanship Award. Unfortunately, neither Captain Smith nor Captain Augustine is able to join us, so thank you, Keith, for accepting this award on their behalf. Congratulations. You can go across. It's all right. I'll wait. Poor guy, trying to figure out where to go with those flowers. Hurley gets the flowers. Now, our second ALPA Superior Airmanship Award of the evening. May I ask Envoy MEC Chair, First Officer Chase Freeman to please join me on stage to assist with this presentation. Captain Brandon Hendrickson is being honored with the 2022 Superior Airmanship Award. I'll ask First Officer Freeman to describe the event.
Thank you, Jason. Captain Brandon Henderson is being honored this evening with the 2022 ALPA Superior Airmanship Award for his decisive action in dealing with an in-flight incapacitation event on Envoy Air Flight 3556. On the evening of November 19th, 2022, Captain Hendrickson was serving as a check pilot on Envoy 3556, a flight from Chicago O'Hare to Columbus, Ohio. As his fellow pilot, a recently hired captain, was completing his IOE. The IOE captain was at the controls when the aircraft departed runway 28 right. At approximately 400 or 500 feet, Captain Hendrickson noticed that the IOE captain wasn't responding to callouts. He looked over and noticed that his fellow pilot was slouched over in his seat. He leaned over, called his name, and shook him. When he didn't respond, Captain Hendrickson immediately took the controls, called tower, and told him that he had an incapacitated and unresponsive pilot, that he needed to return to the airport. Captain Hendrickson continued to climb out, received vectors for the downwind for runway 28 center. While on downwind, he was able to coordinate with operations, requesting medical assistance to meet them at the gate. He also coordinated with flight attendants to inform them of the situation and asked to see if there were any physicians on board. The aircraft was back on the ground within minutes. Captain Hendrickson exited the runway and stopped on the taxiway. There were several doctors on board. One of the physicians came to the flight deck, checked for a pulse, and indicated that they needed to initiate CPR right away. The IOE captain was then removed from his seat to the floor of the first-class cabin, where the doctors immediately began providing medical assistance. Captain Hendrickson taxied the aircraft back to the gate, while a commuting pilot who was on board assisted with radio communications during the taxi. Paramedics, who were already at the gate when the plane arrived, came on board, moved the incapacitated pilot to the jet bridge, and proceeded to work on him there for an additional 30 minutes. Unfortunately, they were unable to revive the IOE captain, who sadly passed away despite the heroic efforts of Captain Hendrickson, his crew, and the medical personnel. It is my great pleasure to recognize Captain Hendrickson this evening for the professionalism and superior airmanship he exhibited in dealing with this critical in-flight emergency. His quick action and leadership ensured the safety of passengers and crew and mitigated risk to other aircraft in the vicinity in a very busy and complex airspace. He is a credit to this airline piloting profession.
It is now my privilege to recognize Envoy Air Flight 3556 Captain Brandon Hendrickson with the 2022 Superior Airmanship Award.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Chase. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored and privileged to be the receiving of this award. I'd like to take the time to express condolences to Captain Ford and his family. I'd like to thank my amazing flight attendants that performed calmly under very short notice for a quick return back to the airport. Secondly, I'd like to thank ALPA for their quickness to reach out and offer support through the Critical Incident Response Team, the Pilot Peer Support, and our MSC, and as well our LAC captain. Thank you for providing direction in the uncharted territory, not only that evening, but the days that followed. I'd like to thank my wife, Nicole, for supporting after the event and the continued support she offers throughout my career. I'd like to take a minute and speak on the topic of single pilot and autonomous aircraft operations. As much as we try, we cannot have procedures for every scenario that may occur. You take this event for an example, a medical emergency, no one could have predicted. Other scenarios that come up where we have to make quick and precise decisions are bird strikes, damage to flight controls, damage to the airframe, or even something as simple as the runway environment. Maybe the runway conditions looks worse after you pop out of the clouds than what it was reported. Maybe there's an aircraft or ground equipment on the runway requiring a go-around. These are just a few scenarios that happen daily in our air transportation business that require skilled pilots to make immediate decisions that get resolved quickly, but also have some safe outcome. A computer or a pilot in a remote room cannot possibly make an immediate decision in a way that a skilled and experienced crew can. We are trained to work together using resources to solve problems in a way that have positive outcomes. We preach and practice crew resource management to help prevent events from happening or to resolve events to have a safe outcome from a flight. We have worked so hard to implement a practice and a program to just remove it to a single pilot operation or a computer to navigate an aircraft. Air travel is the safest way to travel. This is why it should be mandatory to keep two skilled qualified pilots and augmented flight crew in the cockpit. Our job is to transport passengers all over the world to their destinations and get them back home to their families and friends safely. Again, I would like to thank ALPA and the committees for continued dedication and hard work to keeping our skies safe. Thank you.
Well said, my friend. Well said. I couldn't have said it better. As we've said throughout this Air Safety Forum, two well-trained, qualified, and well-rested pilots on the flight deck at all times. Thank you, Captain Hendrickson. May I ask Captain A.J. Berlotti, ALPA's Aviation Jumpsuit Group Chair, to come to the stage and assist me in presenting the 2022 ALPA Annual Aviation Jumpsuit Award. It's now my pleasure to recognize Captain Rich Albert from FedEx Express with the 2022 ALPA Annual Aviation Jumpsuit Award for his work and determination to advance access to the aviation jumpsuit. Captain Rich Albert is being honored for his work in making jumpsuit privileges more accessible to his fellow pilots. He currently serves as ALPA's Jumpsuit Committee as Director of Legislation, Regulations, and Compliance, as well as Government Affairs. He previously served for 15 years as the committee's chair and also previously held the position of vice chair. Captain Rich Albert has been involved in ALPA's jumpsuit program since its inception and has influenced its development and implementation throughout its existence. He served ALPA as a member of the Air Safety Organization's Steering and Oversight Committee and has been a member of the FedEx MEC Jumpsuit Committee. Captain Albert's work has been included assistance with initial development of cockpit access security system and known crew member, work with International Federation of Airline Pilots Associations, and assisting pilots with jump seating during COVID. Will you please join us on stage, which you're already here. Stay right there. Recognize FedEx Express Captain Rich Aber with the 2022 ALPA Annual Aviation Jumpseat Award for his outstanding contributions to advance aviation jumpseat. Rich.
Thank you.
Now we're going to get a picture. Come on. Take it. It's all yours. You want AJ to hold that for you so you don't
Yeah,
drop
that'd
it?
be great.
Here you go, AJ.
He may
Thank you,
drop
sir.
it. Don't take it back to those guys over there in the corner. They might drop it for sure. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jason. It's my honor to be here again. I can't tell you how much I appreciate being among all of you that are here in the audience as well, what we've been through the last few years. Thanks to Katie, Chloe, Keegan, the rest of my family. I learned this trick by giving away 3 daughters as brides already. You take a sip of water when your throat gets dry. I have one more to go. My engaged daughter is here. Thanks to my guys back there in the corner, hold it down just a little bit, but I'm glad I'm not here receiving the Superior Airmanship Award. That's one award that I think I'd avoid, and I'm about as close to it as I can get by following them tonight, and my congratulations to those gentlemen as well. But by name, James Burzon, AJ Berlotti, Bob Spadia, Mark Gartner, Paul, Ben, Robbie, Bobby. I can go on and on and on. They're not my guys anymore. The best way to win an award is to go ahead and step aside and appreciate the value of and spirit of those pilots that get us through things like the last few years, because the last few years have been tough. Never more apparent how well they're equipped to handle what the future is going to hold, because we know change is imminent and perpetual. Thanks to the Security Committee, Safety Committee, especially Darren Dorn, Wolfgang Koch, with our partnership over the years. Thanks to Jason and the 5 other ALPA presidents, going back to Dwayne Worth, that I've been privileged and honored to work for. A little history and be brief. Used to say it all the time, like everybody, I was flying the morning of 9/11, right? That's getting to be a pretty small list of professionals. But I was flying the morning of 9/11. My claim to fame is maybe we were, if not the first airplane airborne. I don't remember the flight number now, but we were flying 3 a.m. on Thursday morning, and the first media coverage is not till Thursday afternoon. But I was flying, and we followed Angel 1 to Barksdale, and then we followed Angel 1. All the way up the Hudson, right? We followed the smoke trail all the way up the east coast to the Hudson, put it down Friday morning right there, ran across the ramp, just tails flying to catch a jump seat out of there as the world was opening back up again. This is the solemn week of that anniversary. So what happened? I was the right guy at the right time. Everybody was done, just like COVID. We're done. They're sitting at home wondering if they're going to get a paycheck, wondering what's going to happen to their family. I was the right guy at the right time. So there was nobody else working, and it gave me an opportunity to take what I said earlier is a ragtag jump seat task force into a force multiplier in PIC authority and safety and security industry. Going forward, I'm telling you, change is perpetual and it's imminent. Lead by innovation. We need to solve problems before they're a problem. We need solutions before they're a problem. Everything from safety and security to crazy stuff like this insane COVID nightmare we went through the last couple of years. Insane. We were having a morning conference call every single morning. Then we went to weekly, then we went to monthly with each one of the disciplines, trying to explain how we're going to tell our pilots what their lives are going to be like in the next couple of years for some lunacy. So lead by innovation. Be professional. Respect the ALPA Code of Ethics. Never ask a question of a regulator of which you know the answer to. Be strong when you have to deal with the regulators. You know the answers. Be moral. Just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. That's going forward. It's been my honor. It's been my pleasure to step aside and let my gentleman take over for us here. And I look forward to the future. It's going to be great. Thank you.
Congratulations, Captain Aubert. Please let me invite Captain Travis Ludwig, ALPA's Pilot Assistance Group Chair, to the stage as we present ALPA's 2022 Annual Pilot Assistance Award. Nice job holding it.
Thanks. You wanted to be the best.
It's my privilege to present JetBlue Airways Captain Jason Graves with the 2022 ALPA Pilot Assistance Award. Captain Graves is being honored with the 2022 ALPA Pilot Assistance Award for service to his fellow pilots through his work in professional standards. He currently serves as a JetBlue Professional Standards Chair and is ALPA Air Safety Organization's Professional Standards Subject Matter Expert. Captain Graves demonstrates a high degree of commitment to all of his volunteer roles. He's dedicated more than 14 years of volunteer service supporting professional standards for various pilot groups. He previously served as a Colgan Air Professional Standards Chair, the Endeavor Air Professional Standards Chair, and as the JetBlue Professional Standards Training Facilitator. His work includes assisting the Union Panama de Aviadores Comerciales with training development in Panama, serving as member of ALPA's Professional Standards PCDI Code of Ethics Working Group, and participation in the JetBlue ALPA COVID Working Group. Captain Graves, please join us on stage. I am honored to present JetBlue Airways Captain Jason Graves with the 2022 ALPA Pilot Assistance Award for his outstanding contributions. Pick a side. There you go.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you, Travis. Compared to my contemporaries who are getting other awards tonight, I am definitely the neophyte, right? I'm still the person up and coming and working. I feel like I have not given nearly as much as they have. In that saying, we've spent a lot of time in our industry lately talking about mentoring. We've spent the last 2 days talking about mentoring and mentorship. Unfortunately for me, I was a product of the Colgan 3407 crash. At the time, we had a MEC chair. His name was Mark Siegeloff. And after the accident, he called me up one day and said, "Hey, I need a professional standards chair now. Will you do it?" And I told him, "What is that?" I have no clue. At the time, the Colgan airline was new to ALPA. We had a safety structure in place, but we didn't have a single pilot assistance committee. But he said, I can help you. I'm going to send you to Herndon, and I'm going to put you in a room with some people that can help you. We talk about mentoring. They put me in a room with some PA All-Stars, Captain John Rosenberg, Captain Jerry McDermott, and they picked me up and said, "Jason, you're not going to fall. We're going to carry you until you can walk, and then you're going to run, and we're going to teach you and keep you keep you moving. So it's been an interesting journey. In 2018, 3 weeks prior to a forum, I get a call from Captain Tom Letson, who reaches out to me and says, hey, I need a pro stance instructor. Can you do it? And I'm like, sure, you know, like a good volunteer. Yeah, what do you got? And I show up in Seattle and there's 200 people in the room and he says, here you go, it's your show. Yeah, Captain Tom Thornton. There's so many names of people that have mentored me along this journey. And it's amazing, right? So the FAA is telling us that mentorship needs to be mandated. As an AOSO person, it's not my job. I'm a SME. That's government affairs, right? They talk to the regulator, they talk to industry. But these folks didn't have a mandate for mentorship. They had a different document. And that document was written in 1956 under Article 3, and that is the ALPA Code of Ethics. And that is the gold standard for mentorship. I also want to say real quickly, as a volunteer, I've learned over a decade here that time as a volunteer, our time is not infinite. When we spend our time as a volunteer, I'm taking time away from something or someone. We've all have stories, right? You know, missed weddings or whatever. I mean, I was sitting here 20 minutes ago and I get a pro stance call. We took my daughter to Benihana for dinner one night, and from the time that the salads hit the table until the food was going in the doggy bags, I was outside on the phone with our chief pilot in my MEC chair. It happens. So I want to thank my wife and my family, not only for being tolerant, but for also being supportive, because without that, this work doesn't happen. One final quick thank you is to the ALPA staff. We all realize as volunteers just how much they do. If you don't know how much they do, somewhere between 2:30 and 4 o'clock today during the break, my name badge fell off and it hit the floor and God knows where it is. Like that. They'd already packed their stuff. Jason, we'll make you a new one. But I had the opportunity to spend a week in Velo last month for a pilot duty week, and Darren was there, and there were several of us there. The pilot office was full. So Candace pulls me aside and says, hey, why don't you sit in Keith Heggie's office here, and you can do your work. That was good and bad. One, because everyone thought I was still Keith, and they came in there looking for answers. And I wanted to put a sign up there that says, I have no answers, only questions. I even think Steve came by at one point, because you have a very recognizable voice. But it was very interesting, because I'm sitting across from Dion, I'm sitting across from Aparna, and everyone else, Petra, they're all there, Dan. And over the course of 4 days, I'm listening to them go about their business. And they're just churning away for this organization, right? At one point, they took a call on the accident incident hotline for a suspected human trafficking. And they just kept moving. They got it done. We look good because of them, so I want to recognize them. Thank you.
Congratulations, Captain Graves. Please allow me now to invite Captain Wolfgang Koch, ALPA Air. Whoa! Did I get it okay? All right, there we go. For the 2022 ALPA Aviation Safety or Security Award. It's one of my guys, so I'm happy to give this award out, but it's my privilege and honor. First Officer Andy Uribe, who flies for Delta Airlines with the 2022 ALPA Annual Aviation Security Award. First Officer Uribe is being honored for his important achievements in aviation security. He is aviation security expert. He's just, anyway, I've known you for a while, but he works closely with ALPA's partners on security matters and relates to domestic and international airspace. First Officer Uribe is tasked with special use airspace prohibitions and assisting government entities in those security matters. He currently is the ALPA security subject matter expert on P56 matters. Throughout his time on the Aviation Security Committee, Andy has routinely demonstrated a willingness to volunteer and make sure of his past military experience as it relates to security. He's previously served as chair and vice chair of the Delta Security Committee and as a subject matter expert in the hotel layover security planning. Andy's efforts have improved communication and coordination among pilot groups and across the industry, resulting in increased awareness and better information sharing regarding security. Andy, please join us on stage. I am very pleased to recognize Delta Airlines First Officer Andy Uribe with the 2022 ALPA Aviation Security Award for outstanding contributions.
First, I'd like to thank Jason and Wendy and Wolfgang for the recognition. I must admit that when Wolfgang called and then he started adding these, high-power ALPA players to the line, my first thought was, uh-oh. But as they described why they were calling me, to talk about this award, my next thought was, boy, they got the wrong person because there are plenty of other people that do more work than I do. Earlier tonight, I was able to meet many of the previous award winners, and I must say that I'm humbled to be included in that group of great volunteers that work tirelessly for the pilots of ALPA. I must thank my wife, Cara Lee, over there. I appreciate her support and understanding. We both have a military background, so that actually kind of made it easy for me because she truly understands that, the phone will ring at odd times and I have to take it. And normally it was to assist a pilot, who needed some help somewhere around the world. I think my most memorable phone call was when Jason's now current EA got shot in the ass in South America. Now, Steve Meyer, he's not here with us tonight, but he's healed well. It was a through and through wound, so it's all good.
It's all the cookies that saved him. The cookies saved him.
The cookies. I just want to say thank you for everybody's support at all levels of our organization. The security volunteers that work at the Security Council and the security committees at your MECs, we intentionally do most of our work outside of the limelight. I mean, if you listen to the award citation, it was pretty vague and pretty, intentionally so. So we do depend on that support, and we get it from every level. LECs, all of the MECs, the ASO, ALPA National, and the staff. And that enables us to stay focused on the task at hand, which is pilot volunteers helping pilots. And we do that by keeping pilots secure both on the ground and in the air. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Andy. Well, that wraps it up. Oh, oh, there's another one? Oh, well. You in a hurry? I know everybody else is, so your speech will be short, right? Please allow me to invite Captain Wendy Morse, ALPA First Vice President and National Safety Coordinator, to the stage as we present the 2022 Air Safety Award. So this might seem planned because he's the current Air Safety Chair, but this was all done long before, and I pulled you back in because I said I needed you, so I appreciate it, buddy. So it gives me great pleasure to recognize Delta Airlines Captain Steve Jangelis with ALPA's 2022 Air Safety Award. Caps. Captain Steve Jangelis is a recipient of the 2022 ALPA Air Safety Award, honoring his many years of volunteer work and significant contributions to aviation safety. He currently serves as ALPA's Aviation Safety Chair. His safety work has helped to achieve collaborative industry standards for airport operations and construction, runway safety, runway shortened procedures, and EMAS deployment. Captain Jangelis also actively engages with ALPA's international partners to promote the organization's safety priorities to regulatory agencies in the United States, Canada, and internationally. Over the years, he's fulfilled numerous roles as a safety volunteer. Steve was previously ALPA's Aviation Safety Vice Chair, as well as ALPA's Airport and Ground Environment Chair, the FAA's Runway Safety Council Chair, and is a member of the FAA Industry Commercial Aviation Safety Team. He's currently the Aviation Safety Information Analysis and Sharing Program Industry Elected Co-Chair. That's a lot, that's a mouthful right there. SIAS. Steve, please join us on stage. I'm very pleased to recognize Delta Captain Steve Jangelis as ALPA's 2022 Air Safety Award for his outstanding contributions. Sir, come on in here. Take it away, sir. Thank you, sir. Here, we'll hold that.
You got that?
There you
got it. Well, thank you, Jason. Well, in only one word, I can sum this up by saying, I'm humbled. I didn't know you could count, Dorn. Love you, buddy. Those that know me know that I can never speak on only one word, though. So grab a chair, bosses. It's going to be a few minutes. We got till 10, right?
Starting a 5-minute clock.
Okay, hack the clock, hack the clock. Just one more. I've handed this award out many times to many deserving ALPA safety volunteers, but now being on the receiving end, the true gravity of the award hits me. The idea that the son of a union pipe fitter, born and raised, went to school and learned how to fly just a few miles from here in Chicago, gets to receive this tremendous honor is a story that has me looking like an out-of-body experience, and I'm amazed up here. As I look around this room and see the many past winners of this award and me being selected by our peers, I fully realize that I have joined a list of legends who have advocated and worked to make flying safer for every ALPA pilot and the traveling public. Those legends include names like Melvin, Fennick, McCarthy, McVenis, Bender, Perkins, Rogers, Jelina, Cunningham, DeGrow, Hammond, Coogan, Klinger, Fulton, and Schwartz. A true group of giants in this safety business. How many of our ALPA pilots and friends are here for the first time for an ALPA Safety Forum? Can I see a show of hands? Excellent. A very special welcome to all of our new people and carriers with us this evening, including Air Canada. You are a huge part of our organization, and welcome in everything we do. True story, my mother is Canadian, is like she always used to say, the good part. I'm half Canadian, so I feel with my Canadian brothers, and my first flight ever was on an Air Canada DC-9. I've got a picture of it in a bassinet sitting there next to the air stair of a DC-9 going from here to Toronto. So we're so glad you're with us. To everyone here for the first time, I was in your shoes in 2007, sitting there watching the many achievements of past and current leaders of this air safety organization, and thought, how do I fit in with all of these professionals doing all of this great work? It all starts when you raise your hand to, and continues when you get to work in whatever volunteer discipline you choose. You are part of the safety family now, and you'll always have a seat at my dinner table because you chose to do more than just being a line pilot. You chose the honorable work of keeping our passengers, crew, and cargo safe by working as an ALPA volunteer, and I thank everyone in this room for their efforts and abilities. No one gets here alone, and many people help along the way. I want to first thank Captain Helena Cunningham for nominating me, and to my Delta MEC Chair Darren Hartman, his leadership team, and the entire Delta MEC for the confirmation and advancement of this award nomination. I also want to thank our ALPA National Leadership Team, ALPA President Captain Jason Ambrosi, First Vice President Wendy Morse, Vice President Administration Tyler Hawkins, and Vice President of Treasury Wes Clapper. Thanks for keeping safety as the highest priority in this association. Same goes for our Executive Council, Executive Vice Presidents, the Executive Board, and Board of Directors. And without your leadership and your money, the safety organization wouldn't be as effective as we are today. So I thank you for your support. To my vice chairs over the many years, Captain Jeff Waite, Captain Frank Pizzonia, Captain Doug Willey, and Captain J.C. Petchel, thank you for your counsel, leadership, guidance, and friendship throughout my leadership tenure. You're invaluable, and I'm extremely thankful. To our technical chairs, council chairs in the safety structure, Doug, the Jeffs, Chris, Kathy, Blake, and Josh, you're the blood of this organization. Your leadership and work is unrivaled, and I'm honored to work alongside you as we work and advocate for safe skies in airports. Every day you amaze me with your expertise, and my job is to just make sure you have all the tools you need to work for every ALPA pilot's benefit. How am I doing on time, boss? Close? I got more. I'm rolling. I can go longer? Okay, good. Just checking. I've got a revised speech here. Let me pull out the other 6 pages.
All right, I need your hand.
Okay. To our ALPA professional staff, each and every one of you are the foundation of the largest non-governmental safety organization in the world. And no matter what you do for us, we pilots owe you a debt of gratitude. Yeah. Events like these don't put themselves on, nor does effective advocacy take place without your involvement every step of the way. You all make us look good, and looking at this guy, that's a really tough job. The engineering and air safety staff and engineers led by Stacy Bechtold, Chad Ballantyne, and Randy Kanegi, it's a true pleasure to interact and work with you all, and I couldn't thank you enough for your support of me and our pilot volunteers. Yeah. To our industry partners and regulators in attendance this evening, I thank you all for advancing the common goal of keeping flying safe. We founded this association on safety, and the reason for our passion is the fact that of our original 24 founders of this association, half had died in plane crashes within months and within a year of our incorporation. We may disagree on certain tenets, but I know in my heart and looking you all in the eye that we're doing what we've done together, and it takes all of us collaborating, and you have my respect for working with me and our team. People like Captain Craig Hoskins and Captain Terry McVenis with us this evening are both former ALPA pilots and are true safety professionals that I have the pleasure of working with and knowing them, and I appreciate your friendship and mentoring. Thanks to my father, Jack Jangelis, who is with me tonight, and unfortunately my stepmom, Diane, couldn't join us due to medical reasons, so she is missed. But thanks for bringing me into this world and giving me the resources to be successful in whatever I put my mind into. Thanks. My dad and I have had a very spirited discussion regarding unions and what it is to be a good union member. What was fun was watching him change his tune when he put his tools down, got a suit on, and bought his own business. Suddenly, unions were the problem and management was the cure. As you can guess, Thanksgivings are fun. No, he gets it, but he keeps me thinking about what's going on in the other side's shoes. To all the spouses, significant others, and families with us this evening, thank you for your continued support of your ALPA pilot and for being there for them. They're passion-driven people and couldn't do what they do without you. I ask this audience to please take a moment and a round of applause for them because they are most deserving. Finally, to the most important person in my life, my loving wife. Emmeline is an AFA Union United Airlines flight attendant who's been by my side all along this journey, has been patient when I've taken that safety call at the dinner table, or has watched me pack my bags on another trip to do union work. She's always been my ultimate counsel and my best confidant. Without her, I wouldn't be here, and thanks for your continued support. And as you know, the work I do makes your job safer, and I'm blessed to have such a strong, smart, beautiful, and steadfast partner in my corner. I love you very much. I'm wrapping up. Enough about me. Let's talk about we, everybody in this room. We will always advocate for safer operations. We will always strive for zero accidents and incidents. We will always work tirelessly with our industry partners and regulators on both sides of the border. We will always bring data and facts and no emotions to the task in front of us. We will always insist on well-trained and well-rested pilots, plural, in our flight deck. We will not accept lower safety standards in training and qualifications. We will deny those who think that captain's authority is negotiable. We will never quit. We will always be the conscience of this industry. We are the Airline Pilots Association. Thank you, and good night.
Congratulations, Captain Jangelis. Congratulations again to our 4 2022 ALPA Annual Award nominees.